Friends, we'll start with the question answer series now. Our first question is, what determines the penetrating power of gamma rays? Type of isotope, source to film distance, source strength. So it's nothing but type of isotope. B is the answer. I had explained in the video lecture series itself. Which of the following NDT methods can only detect surface breaking defects? So here the word can only is there, and detect surface breaking. So surface breaking can be detected by DPI and MPI, but here the word can only is mentioned, means only surface defects. So only surface defects is detected by dye penetrant test or dye penetrant inspection. It is DPT or liquid penetrant inspection. All names are same. So the answer will be B. Now third question is, a penetrometer is used to measure. Penetrometer is nothing but the IQUI, image quality indicator, which I explained while explaining the radiography techniques like double wall, double image. At that time I had explained what is IQI. So IQI is used to measure the size of discontinuity in a weld joint, the density of a radiography film, the degree of film contrast, or the quality of radiography technique. So answer is D. Penetrometer or IQI is used to measure the quality of radiography technique. Now here one more option was there, the degree of film contrast, the density of radiography film. So yes, I want to ask you a question. What instrument is used to measure the density of a radiographic film? This you answer me in the comment box. What instrument is used to measure the density of radiographic film? But for the time being, answer of this question is D. Now next question. For gamma radiography of a steel weld at 40 mm thickness, the recommended isotope is. So I had explained the isotopes and applicable thickness range in the video lecture series, and it's nothing but iridium 192. So we'll move to our next question. Next question is, when considering radiography using X-ray, which of the following technique is most likely to be used for a pipe to pipe weld circumferential 610 mm diameter with no internal access? So please think for a second, then I will answer this question. So what it is saying, that the diameter of the pipe is 610 mm, but there is no internal access. In that case, we can use double wall single image. Less than 100 mm it was double wall double image, and more than 100 mm it was double wall single image. This I had explained in the video lecture series. So the answer will be B, double wall single image technique. Now question number 6. The sensitivity of the radiograph is assessed by using densitometer, by using an image quality indicator, from the KVA used, from standoff used. So the sensitivity of a radiograph can be accessed nothing but by penetrometer or IQI. So the answer will be B, by using an image quality indicator. By using densitometer, what we can do? So by using densitometer, we can check the density of the radiographic film. Now question number 7. The penetrating power of an X-ray set is expressed in. I had explained in the video lecture series, penetrating power of an X-ray can be expressed in kilovolt, and penetrating power of radioactive isotope or penetrating power of gamma rays can be expressed on the type of isotope. So the answer will be A. Now ultrasonic testing is of advantage in detecting which of the following weld imperfection over other NDT methods. So it is asking about the which, particularly about which defect which can be detected with the help of ultrasonic testing. So lack of sidewall fusion, surface and undercut, incompletely filled groove and overload. Please read the question once again. This question is asking ultrasonic testing is of advantage in detecting which of the following weld imperfection over other NDT method. Means over comparing to all 4 NDT methods, in following the options, in these options, which defect is more liable or more prominent, can be detected by ultrasonic testing if compared other NDT methods. So I told you that planar defects like lack of sidewall fusion can be prominently checked from ultrasonic testing. And along with this, I had also told you that lamination defect in parent metal will also be checked by ultrasonic testing only. Ultrasonic would be preferred over radiography due to. So what are the points in favor of ultrasonic over radiography? Ability to find most defects, lower skill requirement, ability to detect lamination. See, ability to detect lamination, this is one of the biggest reason. With the help of ultrasonic test we can detect lamination, right? Lower skill requirement, no. In ultrasonic testing the operator skill should be very high. So this is not the answer. Ability to find most defects, yes. With the help of ultrasonic test we can detect more defects if we compare other NDT methods. So the answer will be A and C, that is D, both A and C. Now which NDT method would never be used on a 6-inch aluminium pipe? The answer is radiography, magnetic particle inspection, ultrasonic testing, dye penetrant test. So they have mentioned all 4 basic NDT methods, and what they have mentioned, 6-inch aluminium pipe. First here the word aluminium is there. So I had in my video lecture series I had told you that non-magnetic item, non-ferromagnetic item like aluminium and austenitic stainless steel, they cannot be checked with the help of magnetic particle inspection. Hence this 6-inch has no significance. If the aluminium is mentioned, we can straight away give the answer that it is magnetic particle inspection. With the help of magnetic particle inspection we cannot check aluminium. So the answer will be B. Now next question. Question number 11. What is the correct inspection method for finding lap? So guys, if you know about lap, then you can answer that lap is something on the surface or near to the surface. Hence we can check it by MPI, yes. We can check it by DPI, that is dye penetrant test, yes. You can check it by visual inspection, yes. Lap is present on the surface also. So any of the above, our answer will be D. Which of the following is the most commonly used isotope for radiographic? So I had explained very clearly that iridium 192 is the most commonly used isotope in the industry. So answer will be iridium 192C. Now next question, question number 13. Which of the following would show as light indications on a radiograph? So I had explained the greater density indications will show as light indication. So greater density, slag inclusion and copper inclusion, tungsten inclusion and excessive penetration, cap undercut and root piping, excessive cap height and incomplete penetration. So among these options, option B is correct. Why? Because tungsten inclusion, the density of tungsten is always more than the base metal. And second, excessive penetration, if there is excessive penetration then that density of that penetration will be, logically you can say that it will be more than the adjacent material. Hence the answer will be B. Now on which of the following would you not use MPI inspection? Answer is a low carbon steel butt weld joint, an austenitic stainless steel fillet welded T joint, a medium carbon steel fillet welded lap joint, all of the above. Please think for a second and then answer this question. So the answer is an austenitic stainless steel fillet welded T joint. Here fillet welded T joint is just, it has tried to just divert your mind. There is no significance in that. See, whenever austenitic stainless steel is mentioned, then it is non-magnetic or it is non-ferromagnetic. Hence it can never be checked with the MPI inspection. So answer will be B. Which of the following contamination could affect the sensitivity of a penetrant? See, sensitivity of a penetrant can be, you know, affected if there are contamination present. Contamination in any form, any foreign material, then the sensitivity will be affected. Hence here the name written acid, water, salts, all of the above. No contamination, no foreign material is required during penetrant inspection. I told you very clearly during the lecture itself that it should be free from grease, rust, oil, foreign particles, paints, everything. Hence the answer will be D, all of the above. No contamination is good for dye penetrant test. Now for gamma radiography of a steel weld at 40 mm thick, the recommended isotope is, I explained very clearly with the help of thickness range, it is nothing but iridium 192 C. Now, lamellar tearing has occurred in a steel fabrication. Before welding, it could have been found by X-ray examination, dye penetrant, ultrasonic inspection. It would not have been found by any inspection method. Please think for a second. So friends, before giving the answer, let me tell you that lamellar tearing occurs after welding, not before welding. But here the question is, before welding, could it have been found by? So before welding there is no chance, hence the answer would be it would not have been found by any inspection method. Answer is D. Now next question, which of the following steel is non-magnetic? So if you have a bit idea about steel, then you can answer, but here for the timing I'll give you the answer, but later on the material section I'll explain this also. See, 18% chrome plus 8% nickel is nothing but austenitic stainless steel. I've told you earlier that austenitic stainless steel are non-magnetic, hence the answer is A. Now moving to our last question, this question asks, the use of cobalt as an isotope would generally be used on thin material, T-joint, plate thickness greater than 25 mm, none of the above. I had very clearly explained the use of cobalt 60 when you can use. So I hope you will answer this question. I expect that you will write the answer of this question in the comment box of this video. So friends, please answer this question. I will give the answer through on the community tab of my channel. I hope you like this video. Thank you very much.